and welcome back to The Good, the Bad, and the Poorly Written. My name is Luke. I'm a writer, director, and film editor, and in this series we're taking a look at my first feature screenplay and trying to make it a bit better. The script, Crime at 6,200 Feet, is a neo-noir about a ski bum living in South Lake Tahoe who attempts to investigate a crime. I wrote it when I was a ski bum living in South Lake Tahoe. Last episode, we talked about story days and looked at some ways to tighten the overall timeline of the story. This included a plan to reorganize a few scenes, which is what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be moving the events from scene 65 to 67 to earlier before scene 63. And as such, I'll need to update for location, time of day, and rewrite to match the ongoing changes in the plot. All right, let's get into it. Scene 65. Exterior, major street. Continuous. Sam continues to walk down the street. He gets his notepad and flips open to the page with all the phone numbers. He dials the one that has Psycho Tony Montoya written by it.
Bueno.
I want to speak with Jose.
Cut to exterior, Jose's apartment, afternoon. It is later that same day. Sam trepidly walks up to the door. He hesitates for a moment, regains his composure, and starts to knock. The door opens just as he is about to knock. Inside, a large Latino man glares at Sam. He stands to the side and Sam enters. Cut to interior, Jose's apartment, continuous. The shades are slightly open and shafts of light fall across the dimly lit room. Sam looks around and sees Jose, still bandaged from the auto wreck. There are two other men that Sam doesn't recognize, in addition to the large man that opened the door. Suddenly, the large man hits Sam on the back of the head. He crumples and the room goes black. Cut to black. Technically, there are 3 scenes here, and while young Luke did slug in exterior Jose's, it wasn't formatted correctly in Final Draft, so it didn't get a scene number. But I'll give him a pass on this one. Most of the changes I want to make here are going to be related to the changes in the timeline. I'm also going to change it so instead of Sam deciding to go, he is forced to go as a consequence for his previous actions. I want to create some urgency and danger for him, so he's going to get black-bagged right after leaving the casino. And here it is. 65A, exterior, Caesar's Casino, night, doggy cam. The camera tracks backwards, locked on the look of disbelief and sadness on Sam's face. He's so in his own world, he doesn't notice the Chevy Astro minivan slow as it passes him, make a U-turn, and pull up next to him. The side door slides open and a large Latino man, Torto, 20s, jumps out and grabs Sam in a bear hug.
What the hell?
Sam is shocked out of his stupor as he's thrown inside van. A tough-looking man in a familiar parka glares down at him. We finally met Jefe.
Night-night, Princess Pendejo.
Torto raises a fist and slams it down on the back of Sam's head. Cut to black. This next section is going to require a lot more work because of the changes I made to the story earlier. In the original, Sam just stole a little nug of weed from Jose, so it was like, no big deal. Now he steals a gun and a bunch of weed from Jose, so there's more on the line both for him and for Jefe. Let's take a look at how it played out in the original scene 67. Interior, Jose's apartment, afternoon. It is sometime later that day. Sam is laying sprawled out on the living room floor. The Mexicans sit close around him.
I think he's waking up.
Sam moans and reaches up towards his head. He winces as he touches it. His eyes flutter open.
So, Sam.
Need the last name.
We know who you are now, I say.
A Latino voice flips Sam's driver's license at his chest. It hits him and bounces off. Angry Latino man. From phone.
We know all about your little investigation, so why don't you tell us why we shouldn't you up, S.A.?
Sam sits up and rubs his eyes, squinting as he tries to bring the room into focus.
Because I don't think you're the guys I'm looking for.
It seems like you think I ripped off Charlie.
I did, until last night. Now I think that Brent and the other SoCal dudes are trying to set you up. They're trying to get in on your product. I mean, you guys supply Charlie, right?
Careful, S.A.
See, Brent stole that weed to sell it so he could get more buyers. Now he just needs to cut you guys out of the picture.
And how the is he gonna do that?
I don't know for sure, but I think he's ready to try it tonight. I told someone you'll be getting a big shipment tonight, and I know she'll tell Brent.
What else did you tell this?
That's it. I didn't say when or where because I wanted to talk to you guys first.
That's good, Vato. Maybe we don't have to you up.
The Latino men lean together and talk in Spanish in hushed tones for a short while. Sam still sits on the floor in the middle of the living room. The men finish their conversation and turn towards Sam.
This is what you're going to tell them, Essay. First, tell them the shipment is even bigger than you thought. Tell them it's just Jose picking it up. And tell them it's going down tonight at the cement plant out on 50. You know where that is, right?
Sam nods in agreement.
Now you go back and tell that this. It happens at 11.
Then what?
Then you're coming with us, Essay.
What? But I have to work tonight.
Yeah, you're going to help us them up. And in case you get any ideas, we're sending
The big guy.
with you.
Sam looks a little ill.
To my work?
Angry Latin man, looking menacing.
He'll be outside. You got a problem with that, Essay? No. I don't have a problem with that. Bueno. See you tonight.
Cut to. I'm planning on basically rewriting this whole thing, but there are a couple of things that bother me, and I gotta bring them up. Sam is laying. Remember the film's POV that I keep harping about? This violates that. We shouldn't see Sam lying on the floor. We should see black until he opens his eyes, because the audience should never see more than Sam does. Next, SoCal. I think it's kind of funny that young Luke made the real bad guys douchey SoCal dudes. You may or may not know, but they are the sworn enemy of cool NorCal skater dudes. Anyways, my point here is Sam hasn't learned anything about where Brent and his crew are from, and frankly, I don't think it matters. All right, here is the revised scene 67. Over black.
Think he's waking up.
Fade in. Interior, Jose's apartment, night. The world slowly comes into focus as Sam wakes. He moans and touches his head, wincing as he does. He sits up and comes face to face with a pistol. Instinctively, he puts his hands up.
Whoa, take it easy.
Guess it wasn't lost in the snow, was it, Essay?
Look, I was meaning to bring it back, but things started to get complicated.
Oh, we know all about your little investigation, Sam Desmond.
He flips Sam's driver's license off the young man's chest. As it bounces to the floor, Sam gets his first good look around. He's sitting on a dirty carpet in the middle of a worn-down living room. In front of him, and still aiming the pistol, is Jefe, now dressed in a hoodie and Dickies. To one side is a large Latino man, Torto, and on the other side is Jose, 19.
You think I ripped off Charlie? I ain't into pinchy collie like that.
Okay, I did think that at first, but then he
motions at Jefe.
told me to look into this big ears dude.
And how'd that go? You ripped them off too? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't take you out.
Before he can finish, Torto steps forward and backhands Sam across the face.
Think carefully, Essay.
I think Big Ears works for this guy named Brent, and they're trying to make a play, maybe for Charlie's business.
He considers.
Maybe for something bigger.
What do you think that is, Columbo?
Well, people keep trying to pin this on Jose, so maybe he was Charlie's real hookup, and maybe he works for you?
Jefe nods and lowers the pistol.
Not bad.
Sam nods towards his raised arms.
Can I?
Jefe shrugs.
Sure, Holmes. I'm not going to shoot you. Not yet, at least.
Sam breathes a sigh of relief.
Don't get too comfortable. I might still you up, on principle. You did steal from me.
In my defense, I did.
Torto, grab this fool. We'll take him out to the airport. Nobody'll find him until spring.
Torto steps forward and grabs Sam's jacket, beginning to pull him towards the door.
Wait. Let me work for you.
Jefe motions for Torto to stop.
And what are you going to do for me? I already got a crew.
What if I could get you Brent and his guys?
Go on.
They're after your business. So what if you turned the tables and got them on in one place and
And what?
whatever you do then is up to you.
And how do you think you can do this?
I know someone, and if I tell her something is going to go down, like a delivery or whatever, she'll tell Brent.
How are you sure?
Sam sighs.
She's been playing me, maybe from the start.
Jefe looks to Jose.
You know this
Yeah.
And she's tight with Brent?
Sibon.
Jefe turns back to Sam.
All right. You work for me until restitutions are made.
How long will that?
As long as I say it will. You don't have a problem with that, do you?
Sam vigorously shakes his head no.
So you tell her a big deal is going down tomorrow at the cement plant on 50.
Okay, anything else?
Make sure she thinks it's just Jose. And tell her 11 p.m.
No problem, I can do that. Thank you.
He stands up.
So can I go now?
No, you aren't getting out of our sight until the goes down.
But I have to work tomorrow.
You're calling in sick, fool? Torto, take this pendejo to get my weed. You do still have my weed, right?
Cut to. Now, instead of Sam just deciding to set up Jenny and Brent to get scorned lovers' revenge, he's doing it to save himself. Like, previously he could have just done nothing, but now he has to act. This scene was tricky because it's just dudes in a room talking. Now, long-term viewers will remember way back at the beginning of the script in episodes 7 and 8, we had a similar problem, and we changed the exposition to be delivered in a few different scenes and different locations. But that's not really an option here. So I tried to keep as much conflict and movement as I could to keep it interesting. There's a physical violence directed at Sam, first the gun being pointed, then he's slapped, then he's dragged towards the door, and there's the constant push and pull between Hefe and Sam. At the end of the scene, I had to figure out how to make the plot reordering work. Originally, Sam told Jenny he knew of a deal before he went out and talked to Jose. But since I'm streamlining things, I needed to figure out how Hefe would handle the setup. At first, I thought he'd just give Sam a ride home, get the weed from him, and then let Sam continue the mission alone. But once I started digging into it, it just didn't pass the smell test. Why would he leave Sam alone? What's to stop Sam from warning Brent or calling the police? I mean, he's already stole from him once. Why wouldn't Sam try something again? You almost always want to have your characters act in their own best interests, or at least what they think is their best interest. Because, shocker, that's what real people do. If you don't, you end up with shows like Star Trek Discovery or The Walking Dead, which are filled with characters acting against their own interests purely so the story can happen. All that to say, Hefe would definitely want to keep tabs on Sam. So here's a couple new scenes that follow through on that. Exterior, Sam's apartment, night. Sam exits his apartment with Torto close behind. They walk over to the Chevy Astro where Jose waits and they climb in. 67B, van. Torto hands Jose 2 baggies of weed.
That's todo?
Jose weighs the baggies in his hands and considers.
Yeah.
He puts the van in gear and begins to drive.
Where are we going now?
Torto puts a big arm around Sam.
Now we're gonna have a sleepover.
Off Sam's look of trepidation, we cut to. Now we have continued escalation. Not only does Sam have to help Hefe set up Brent and his crew, but he has no hope of escape beforehand. And he's got a pretty clear idea of what's in store for him should he fail. And that'll be a wrap on this episode. Next time, we'll be taking a look at scenes 63 and 64, and also 68 to 70, as Sam sets the trap for Jenny and we continue to reorganize and streamline the script. Until then, be good and write well.